Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Stringer's Notebook. I'm your host, Joel Huerto, editor and publisher of OneManFastBreak.net. Before I dive into my notes, please hit like, share, and subscribe on this channel. And also feel free to drop in a comment or two. Every opinion matters around here. Appreciate all the feedback. Now, today's notebook will be about the published Bleacher Report top 100 players of all time. Bleacher Report and its army of NBA experts and writers and editors got together and ranked the 100 greatest NBA players of all time. I'm not going to say Bleacher's list was wrong or totally flawed. Of course, it's flawed. It's an imperfect list. All lists are imperfect. It's meant to be that way. It's meant to create debate and talking points, and Bleacher Report accomplished the mission. The same can be said about my list. I came up with my ranking of the top 75 greatest players of all time on OneManFastBreak.net. And this was when the NBA released its Diamond Anniversary team. And it's my list. We can debate it for sure. But, that's the point. Lists creates a healthy debate. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today on today's notes is I'm going to make a case for a player that Bleacher Report didn't include in their top 10. They did not include Kobe Bryant. This is Bleacher Report's list. They can do whatever they want with the list. I'm not going to argue every single player on the list. I will make a case that they should have had Kobe in the top 10. Now, overall, I thought the list was solid. Bleacher Report factored in players' NBA career, their cumulative stats, average stats, awards, playoff wins, championships, and then they also included cultural impact and overall greatness. But here's what I think Bleacher missed or ignored when they dropped Kobe out of the top 10. For me, when I did my list, I came up with 5 things I'm looking for in terms of how I ranked my players. Legacy, number 1. Influence, head-to-head in the playoffs against other great players of their era. Team success, which more weight placed on postseason and NBA championships. And then individual accomplishments. Now let's talk about Bleacher Report's top 10 guys. They're the top 10 players. They were considered the 10 greatest players in NBA history. Number 1, they had Michael Jordan. Number 2, LeBron James. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 4, Magic Johnson. Number 5, Bill Russell. Number 6, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 7, Tim Duncan. Number 8, Larry Bird. Number 9, Wilt Chamberlain. And number 10, Steph Curry. This is a really solid list. I really have very few problems with their top 10. The only guy, like I said, that they should have included was Kobe Bryant. In my list, very, very similar to what they have, I took off Wilt, put him at number 11, and put Kobe in my top 10. In fact, I have Kobe at number 2 of all time. That's a whole totally different debate that we can have. Again, it's my list. I think Kobe's the second greatest player of all time behind Jordan. He's the closest thing to MJ. So let's talk about championships. Kobe won 5 NBA titles. Jordan won 6. LeBron won 4. Kareem won 6. Magic won 5. Bill Russell won 11. Shaq won 4. Duncan won 5. Bird won 3. Wilt won 2. Curry won 4. If the argument against Kobe, or the pundits would say, yeah, sure, he won 5 championships, but 3 of those titles came with Shaq. Shaq had a big hand in that. And absolutely. Diesel was a big part of the three-peat. The three-peat Lakers from 2000, 2001, 2002. But at the same time, Magic had Kareem. LeBron had Dwayne Wade. LeBron had Kyrie Irving. LeBron had Anthony Davis. Tim Duncan had David Robinson, Hall of Famer. Tim Duncan had Tony Parker, Hall of Famer. Tim Duncan had Manu Ginobili, another Hall of Famer. The point is, every great player needs help. It's still a team game. So to knock Kobe because he played with Shaq, it's kind of ridiculous because all the great players needed help. When you look closely, you can actually make a strong argument that Kobe was the best player in the world from 2001 all the way up to 2011 when the Lakers dynasty, when the Kobe dynasty ended in 2011. Shaq won MVP 2000, unanimous MVP, dominant season 2000. We'll give that to Shaq. But from 2001 all the way up to 2011, you look at Kobe's individual accomplishments, from championships to playoff success to honors, All NBA, All Defense. I mean, he was probably one of the best two-way players in the league for an entire decade. After Shaq left the Lakers, Kobe's seasons in 2006 and 2007 were probably two of the greatest scoring seasons of all time. He averaged 35.4 points per game in 2006, led the league in scoring. Only 5 players have ever averaged 35.4 points per game in a single season. Wilt Chamberlain did it 5 times, and the other 4 players were Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Rick Barry, and James Harden. That's it. 5 players to average 35.4 points per game in a single season. And oh, by the way, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points in a single game that year in 2006. I was working at the LA Times at the time. I remember we had the front page all set. We had the NFL playoffs as our main coverage. There were 2 playoff games that day. So we were thinking that this is it. The NFL will be our lead story. Here comes Kobe Bryant against the Toronto Raptors. Who would have thought? A Sunday game, the Lakers and the Raptors would trump the NFL playoffs. No one has ever come close to Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points a game. And even though Kobe fell short, there was a moment where you're thinking, like, he might get close to Wilt. But then he finished with 81 points, the second greatest single game scoring performance in the history of basketball. And if that doesn't put you in the top 10 of all time, I don't know what else does. I can't knock Kobe for being on Shaq's team. It was 1A and 1B. For any basketball fan, or for any hardcore Laker fan who watched those Shaq and Kobe Laker teams, the three-peat Lakers from 2000 to 2002, all of them will say Kobe was just as good as Shaq. In fact, you can make a case that he was better than Shaq. If you look at the playoffs in 2001, Kobe Bryant was in the middle of that playoff run. His game or games against the Sacramento Kings and the San Antonio Spurs were legendary. He had a 48-point game in the clincher at Sacramento in the semifinals of the Western Conference playoffs. And in Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals against the Spurs in San Antonio, he dropped 45 on the Spurs. And that was the game when Shaq says, Kobe's the best player in the world. And he wasn't joking. People thought he was, but he wasn't. He said he was the best player in the world. And he was right. The Spurs sort of had an answer for Shaq because they had Tim Duncan and David Robinson, 2 Hall of Famers. But they had no answer for Kobe. The 2001 Lakers that destroyed the Spurs and swept them in the playoffs changed the entire roster for the Spurs. Greg Popovich went into that offseason thinking like we needed to have a defensive stopper to stop Kobe, so they got Bruce Bowen. They needed to get quicker, so they drafted Tony Parker. And then a couple years later, they drafted Manu Ginobili. So it altered the entire thinking or strategy of the Spurs because of Kobe Bryant. Looking at Kobe and Tim Duncan head-to-head in the playoffs. Duncan faced Kobe in the playoffs 6 times, and he only won twice. Kobe won 4-2 in a playoff series against Tim Duncan. In overall games, Kobe was 18-12 against Timmy. By comparison, by contrast, LeBron James is 5-11 against Tim Duncan in the playoffs in his career. And to take it a step further, LeBron against Steph Curry, Steph Curry has a winning record against LeBron in the postseason. If we're looking at the Bleacher Report's top 20, then we'll dive into this further. Kobe was 2-2 against David Robinson, 9-8 total games in the postseason. Dirk Nowitzki, he only faced Kobe once in the playoffs, and that was 2011. That was their only meeting, and that was the ending of the Kobe dynasty. In 2011, the Mavericks went on to win the championship. Now, Kobe's record against Kevin Durant, it's only two series. They only faced each other in 2010 and 2012, and they split the series. Lakers beat OKC in 2010, and then OKC beat the Lakers in 2012. And then Kobe against Kevin Garnett. Garnett is in Bleacher Report's top 20 all-time list. So Kobe against Kevin Garnett was 14-11. They faced each other twice in the NBA Finals. They split the NBA Finals head-to-head, 1-1. KG and the Celtics beat Kobe's Lakers in 2008, and then Kobe, with the help of Pau Gasol, faced the Celtics and Kevin Garnett in 2010 and beat the Celtics in 7 games. Now, prior to those finals meetings, KG played for Minnesota. The Lakers faced the T-Wolves twice. The Lakers beat the T-Wolves in 2003 and then beat them again in 2004. Each series went 6 games with the Lakers winning 4-2 each time. Impact. Now, in terms of cultural impact, influence, and legacy, Kobe wins this debate hands down. We are witnessing a generation of players influenced by Kobe Bryant. They all subscribe to the Mamba mentality. The vast majority of them, not all of them, but the vast majority of them are big-time Kobe followers, big-time Kobe fans. You have an entire region on the West Coast who subscribe to the Mamba mentality, and they're all Kobe guys. Guys like Paul George from Palmdale, Kawhi Leonard from Riverside, Russell Westbrook from Long Beach, James Harden from Lakewood, DeMar DeRozan from Compton. Then the Mamba movement goes beyond California. You have Jayson Tatum, Kyrie Irving, all influenced by Kobe. Jayson Tatum was mentored by Kobe. He has Kobe tattooed on his leg. Kyrie Irving spoke to Kobe. They were in constant communication. Even during the 2016 NBA Finals, after Kyrie hit the shot against Steph in Game 7 to lift the Cavs to their first championship in 52 years, Kyrie FaceTimed Kobe and called him up and thanked him for helping him. He even said on FaceTime, he said, "Dude, what you told me worked." So whatever Kobe told him, it worked. Jalen Jalen Williams, the all-star forward from the Oklahoma City Thunder, wears number 8 because of Kobe Bryant. Rui Hachimura, the forward from the LA Lakers, wears 28 as a tribute to both Kobe and his daughter Gigi, who both died in the tragic crash in 2020. So I think it's safe to say that Kobe Bryant is the most influential athlete, or it's the most influential basketball player of this generation. Now, I believe Bleacher Report knew what they were doing when they ranked Kobe just outside the top 10. It created a buzz, some controversy, caused passionate reaction from a lot of people, including myself. And that's why I got on the podcast to talk about it, because they created a buzz and they did exactly what they wanted. If Bleacher Report put Kobe in the top 10, there would be no debate. There would be very little debate. Everybody would be in agreement. Whenever USA Basketball selects their rosters for the Olympics and for the Basketball World Cup, I'm always curious who rises to the top. You know, in a team full of alpha dogs, a main alpha dog always rises to the top, organically rises to the top. It happened with the 92 Dream Team. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, two alpha dogs, both incredible basketball credentials. Magic Johnson, universally recognized as a slightly better player than Larry Bird, is because he beat Larry Bird 2 out of 3 times in the NBA Finals. So naturally, the pecking order is Magic over Bird. But on the 92 Dream Team, both Magic Johnson and Larry Bird knew that there was a bigger alpha dog in the room whenever Michael Jordan would walk in the room. Even Magic joked when Michael Jordan walked in the room, he looked at Larry Bird and said, "There's a new sheriff in town." And that was a nod to say that Michael's the new sheriff. Greatness recognizes greatness. Magic and Larry knew Michael was better. They both knew that Michael Jordan was the king of the hill on the Dream Team. So let's fast forward to 2008 with the Redeem Team. You have a roster full of all-stars. You have LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Jason Kidd, Dwight Howard, Chris Paul. So it's a room full of alpha dogs. But when Kobe joined that team in 2008, he kind of set a different tone. Kobe walks in the room. There's a different aura about him. Even Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, the coach of that team, said we needed Kobe just to have that presence, to give that team a different type of level of detail, the attention to detail, and also the necessary edge. Kobe brought that edge, that nasty edge. And I firmly believe this, that team, room full of all-stars, accomplished guys, they kind of deferred Kobe as the alpha dog. And there was a really good documentary on Netflix documentary on the 2008 USA Basketball Olympic team. And there were some stories that came out of that were really, really fascinating. One was they talked about one night they were in Las Vegas, and they're young guys, so they were clubbing late into the night, got done pretty early or late night, wee hours of the morning, going back to their rooms, the hotel rooms, right around maybe 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So while they were done partying, they see Kobe coming down to work out. And that right there, it kind of shocked all of them. They're like, wow, like, this guy's serious. Like, this is what we got to do to be great, in order to be great. Because Kobe, he wasn't in Vegas to enjoy himself or party and just have fun. No, this was a mission to him. The 2008 Olympics was a mission. The mission was to get the gold medal, and he was going to do it. He was determined to do it, and there were necessary steps in order for this team to accomplish the mission. And step one was dedication. And he showed all those guys what dedication really means. At 4 a.m. in the morning, he was ready to work out. While these guys, the rest of his team, was just done partying and ready to check into their rooms, Kobe was ready to work out. 4 a.m. And I kind of struck a tone with them because I think the next day, LeBron started joining Kobe in the morning workouts. D. Wade started joining Kobe in the morning workouts. Now, the second really interesting story that came out of that, it was the game against Spain. And this was really hyped up as the matchup that everybody wanted to see. And also the backstory, the backstory also is Kobe's playing against his Laker teammate, Pau Gasol. Prior to the game, Kobe told his teammates what Spain was going to run, what play they were going to run. And he says they're going to run this play. They're going to try to set a double screen, and Pau Gasol is going to be the last screener. And he told everybody, when he does that, when Pau sets the screen, I'm going to run through Pau's chest. They were all blown away. The guys on the team were blown away. And also they were like saying, yeah, sure, Kobe. You're not going to go through Pau's chest. Yeah. Sure enough, Spain runs the exact same play that Kobe was saying. Pau Gasol was the screener. And here comes Kobe. He just plows Pau Gasol, runs through his chest. And right there, I think that was the moment that Kobe was sending a message to the rest of the group. Like, you guys might think you know how to win this gold medal, but I'm showing you how far you have to go to be a champion. And that right there, I think that those two moments showed me that Kobe Bryant, on a team full of alpha dogs, he was the main alpha. He was the alpha dog on the Redeem team. And that right there is what greatness is all about. Other great players, there are a lot of great players on that roster, looking up to him and in awe of what he was showing them, the blueprint, in order to be a champion and a gold medalist. There was an interview about 10 years ago when Kobe was asked by Bill Simmons on why he only has one MVP award, regular season MVP award. And Kobe's answer was, it's because the media votes on it. It's common knowledge around basketball circles that several members of the NBA media were not enamored with Kobe. They love Michael Jordan. They certainly loved LeBron. But somehow they weren't feeling Kobe. And Kobe was well aware of it. And he certainly played into the villain role, played it well. And he said he was more focused on chasing championships than chasing MVPs. He did say that it bothered him that he only won one MVP. Steve Nash has more MVP awards than Kobe Bryant, which is ridiculous. Kobe and Nash are not on the same playing field. Not even close. So I hope Bleacher Report writers and editors set aside their Kobe bias, if they did have a bias towards Kobe, while compiling their list of top 100 players. Because if they didn't set aside their bias, then the list is lame. Also, Kobe's no longer with us, so he can't defend himself or respond to the list. But knowing the Black Mamba, I think I know what his response would have been.